Um, so I grew up in a pastor's home, and for those of you that don't know, my dad is Rufus Smith, who's one of the pastors here at Hope, and so you can imagine what that's like. Went to a all Christian school from K through 12. So we did Bible all the time there, memorized verses and a lot of it. And so I was very churched. Went to church every chance we could. We're the first ones there, last ones to leave kind of deal. And so there was really nothing about the Bible I didn't know. Baptized in an early age and all that. I grew up like that. That was my childhood. And then I went to college, and quite honestly, college wasn't any different. Since it was so ingrained in me, I just went to do the same thing. Went to church every Sunday, and didn't really go wild. I wasn't, crazy. I didn't do all this stuff I never could do when I was a kid and all this stuff. I didn't really do that. But I did realize what I was I realized that my relationship with God wasn't a real relationship. I hadn't really let him change me, and it was really a relationship that was mimicking my parents. I remember when I was 20 and I was in my bed. It was the summer of my sophomore year. The lights were off. I was about to go to sleep, and something just comes over me, and I just start weeping, and realizing all the things that God has done for me, in spite of my denying him and not giving him access to changing me, giving him access to my heart. But yet he still blessed me. He blessed me in the house that I grew up in. I never wanted for anything. He blessed me with getting into the school that I wanted to get into, which really shouldn't have happened according to my grades or any scores that I had. He blessed me with friends that I really didn't deserve, with a great parents, and a two-parent home, which is not the case with a lot of people. And so I realized that he had done all this for me and a number of other things, and I hadn't given him anything. In fact, I had, denied him and not really let on to all that he has put in me or acknowledged him in any kind of way. And so he just kind of reminded me of that and made that very real to me. And so that night, I kind of made a pledge to him. I think that that's the night that I would consider myself of really giving my life to Christ, and saying, I will follow you from this point on, because I realized all that you did for me was grace. It was all grace, and it wasn't me. The next day was the next day, and so it was just a regular day. It wasn't rainbows and stars in the sky. It wasn't all that. It was just the next day. And so through that, God just took me on a journey of finding my faith and finding what my relationship with him was going to be, and continuing to learn more about him without my parents, which was a huge thing for me, and finding my own understanding of his word. The thing that I would say changed the most was the way that I had relationships with people and my relationships with people. Before, I would consider myself as being selfish and manipulative, and not really caring about others, even though I may have said it. I didn't really. And I kind of used other people, sometimes consciously, sometimes very much on purpose. And God began to take me through different processes with different groups of people that challenged my understanding of what a relationship is and what love really is. I'd say a good example, in my opinion, about that is my relationship with my brother. We haven't always agreed. We've gone down different paths at different points in our lives. And I can remember being pretty judgmental of him, and not wanting to have anything to do with him. But God showed me in this process that, hey, number one, that's your brother, and number two, that's my son, and you have no right to look at him the way you do or treat him and just dismiss him. And so I think that God gave me the grace with him to build a solid relationship with him, and to continue to do that, and be just really good friends even to this day. And that's a God thing. And so that changed, and my relationship with him began to change. And I realized what it really meant to love someone, and what it was really what it meant, how it felt for God to love me, and to see myself and see my mess and see God accept me for that and still bless me even in spite of that, and being able to give that to somebody else. And our relationship today is great, and that's not because of me. That's because of the grace of God, because I feel like He gave me a second chance with Him, and so it's been a journey, and it's still a journey, and it's not ending anytime soon. But I think that God has shown me what grace is for and what it does, and that even though you may not think that you need it, you do. No matter, it's not about always what you do, but it's about your heart. And I can honestly say that God changed my heart, and I know that.